Before we begin, I'm going to address one fact. My videos are made for a mature audience and older fans of the franchise, not kids. So, here we go. It was Halloween on the island of Sodor. The engines were working hard. Jason, the Garrett engine, was backing down into his spot in the shed as Edward was telling spooky stories. A few minutes had passed by as Edward finished his story. Edward asked, "How about you tell a story, Jason?" Jason said, "Sure, why not?" And this is the story he told. On my old line, I heard a story about 3 old engines who worked here before me, before they bought me. The one was a very kind soul, was a very kind sort of engine. But the problem with him was he was old. He was a prototype, you see. All 3 of them were the same class of engine, but the first one, he was the prototype. He was older than the other 2, and did a lot more work. The second was just like the first, a kind soul, and worked his hardest every day. But the last, he was something of a bad engine. He was a bad apple, you could say. He did not like the others. He never liked working with the others. He was not a fan of getting coal dust and grime all over him, even though they worked near a coal yard. The others decided they did not want to deal with him one night, so they decided they were going to trick him into taking the late-night train to the scrapyard. That's exactly what they did. Coupled up to the train, it set off. He didn't know where the train was going other than his crew would guide him to where it was. Slowly, he rolled down the line. The old engine creaked and rolled. He realized that when it was too late, he was already at the scrapyard. He looked around nervously. He dropped off his trucks when he heard a rumbling behind him. It was the purr of a diesel engine. And slowly, the diesel crept up behind him and buffered him. It was an '08 shunter. He shunted the old steam engine. He shunted the old engine into the yard, into the smelting shed. The diesel cackled and howled with laughter as the old engine creaked as he rolled along. The old engine begged and pleaded, "Please, please, I'm not that bad of an engine. Please don't scrap me, please!" But it was too late. The heavy metal doors clanged behind him. And, well, it was a sad tale. The old engine, the men in the yard, the other 2 engines came to the scrapyard to drop off their train the next day as they heard the screaming of their brother. They just left, because they knew they couldn't help him even if they wanted to. And that was that.